You've got your retreat mapped out, but now it's time to bring in the people that actually make it happen. Choosing your vendors and picking your speakers isn't just another task on your list, it's a turning point. Get this part wrong, and the ripple effects will have an impact on every part of your event. In this video, I'm showing you how to vet, prep, and manage your vendors and speakers so they're not just showing up, but they're ready to deliver. I've learned over the years that just because somebody can do the job doesn't mean that they're necessarily the right fit for you and your retreat. You want people who align with your values, communicate clearly, and respect your deadlines. People who make things easier, not harder. If you're already picking up on red flags like missed calls, slow replies, constantly having to chase after somebody, trust your gut. It's not going to magically get better once the retreat is underway. Vet intentionally, because the right partner doesn't just do their job. They do it in a way that protects your time, your energy, and your guest experience. And once you've chosen your people, how you work with them really matters. I've had events where the biggest struggle wasn't dealing with the guests or the schedule. It was actually dealing with the vendors, constantly having to chase them to get information that I needed. So this is what I always tell my clients. Be kind, be respectful, but don't be afraid to be firm. You are the client. You are allowed to follow up. And when communication starts to slip, you are allowed to escalate professionally but directly. Set your expectations from the start. Back when I worked in corporate, I sometimes played the good cop while my boss played the bad cop. Not because we wanted to stir things up, but because we had a retreat that we needed to protect the process of in order to get things done. Also, don't underestimate the value of building rapport. A little respect, clear expectations, and clear communications can go a long way with building a relationship with your vendors. And when you build your relationship with vendors, they feel more like partners and they're more invested in wanting to help you create the best experience that you can. Basically, you want to make it so they want to help you. Now let's pivot and talk about what happens after you book them. A contract is just the beginning. Your vendors need clarity. That means load-in times, access instructions, key contacts, changes in timelines and the agenda, and where to go for answers. I often use a logistics document that includes vendor-specific items. Basically, it includes only the things that they need to see so they're not distracted by all the internal stuff. And this is usually used with the venue and AV team. And I don't just send it once and hope for the best. I follow up to make sure that they're able to understand what it is that I produce. I send updates regularly with any changes so that they're up to date with the latest agenda. And when the email isn't cutting it, I book a call. Trust me, chasing a vendor the day before your event because they didn't know where to park or when to set up, completely avoidable with the right communication. In fact, I encourage you to over-communicate to make sure that you are getting your point made. Now let's shift over to speakers. Because even when everything is dialed in, sometimes this area doesn't get the level of prep that it deserves. Too many people hand over a session title, a time slot, and then pretty much call it a day. But your speakers need more than just a time slot. They need to know what the day looks like, who they're presenting with, especially if they're on a panel, rehearsal times, who on the team that they can reach out to with any questions, where to be and when, and ideally a warm welcome. It's important to remember that they're carving time out of their schedule, their business, and their energy to be a part of your experience for you and your guests. The least you can do is make sure they feel valued, informed, and cared for. I like to keep a speaker logistics tracker in order to keep track of travel details, bios and photo collections, their sessions, contact details, and more. And each speaker gets their own personalized welcome packet that includes information on what to expect when they're on site, as well as contact information in case they need anything. And if managing all of that seems overwhelming to you, stay tuned. I might have a speaker logistics tracker coming soon in order to help you with your speaker management and make things way easier. If that's something that you might be interested in, click down below in the link to learn more. And while having a tool like that can help with speaker prep, this kind of organization doesn't stop there. Because the real magic happens when the whole team, vendors, speakers, assistants, everyone knows exactly where to find the information they need without coming to you for every update. This is where your systems really matter. Because without them, you end up fielding every question, making every update, and being the go-between for everything. But when you have shared access, things move faster and smoother. And that's why I'm such a big fan of centralizing everything. Whether it's a shared logistics document, shared folder, or timeline, having a place where everybody can see what they need and only what they need is a total game changer. And the key? Keeping it updated. When changes happen, make sure your vendors and key team members are aware. That small step saves you hundreds of just checking in or I had no idea that change happened comments. When your vendors and speakers are aligned, everything starts to feel a little bit more manageable. But that doesn't mean you should be the only one running around, answering questions, and holding your event together. There's a difference between being prepared and running yourself too thin, and that's what we're going to be talking about next. I'm showing you how to stay in your role as host, set clear boundaries, and create breathing room while you're running your retreat. You can check it out on the video on your screen now.